Hello, and thanks for joining me for this introduction to mindfulness-based stress reduction. I hope you find it informative and useful. I'm going to talk about the origins, the foundational principles, and the practical applications of MBSR, and my hope is that this presentation will help you decide whether enrolling in an MBSR class will be a benefit to you. My name is Erik Hulse, and I used to be a police officer. I took up meditation after retiring from a 25-year career and recognizing that although the stress of police work was largely alleviated by no longer being on the job, the internalized accumulation of stress and trauma didn't exactly evaporate the day I retired. I continued to suffer from anxiety and emotional reactivity resulting from years of unexamined exposure to my own traumatic experiences and those of others. Some number of months after I began a daily meditation practice, though, I discovered that I was a little more calm, a little less judgmental, and happier than I'd been in a long time. And this admittedly non-scientific discovery was echoed by the people in my life for whom I took up the practice in the first place, my family and friends. As my personal meditation practice deepened, my interest in sharing mindfulness with others grew. I completed formal MBSR teacher training through programs at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, where MBSR was created, and at Brown University. And I now teach a variety of mindfulness classes at the Midwest Alliance for Mindfulness, as well as courses in mindfulness for first responders through the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center and the Pause First Project. Whether our suffering is caused by the relatively low-grade stress of daily living, or the effects of chronic anxiety, or even severe physical pain, the central and essential premise of mindfulness-based stress reduction, created by Jon Kabat-Zinn over 40 years ago, is beautifully expressed in these simple words. As long as you are breathing, there is more right with you than wrong with you, no matter what is wrong. MBSR came into being in 1979 after Kabat-Zinn, who'd earned a PhD in molecular biology from MIT and studied meditation from Buddhist teachers such as Thich Nhat Hanh, arrived at the University of Massachusetts Medical School and saw the need to integrate the body and the mind to heal physical health symptoms as well as psychological distress. He adapted the Buddhist teachings on mindfulness and developed a stress reduction and relaxation program. He subsequently renamed the structured 8-week course Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, or MBSR, and removed the Buddhist framework, instead putting MBSR in an entirely scientific context. A common operational definition of mindfulness is that it is the awareness that arises from paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. Mindfulness shows us that one can assist in their own healing by first recognizing the important distinction between pain and suffering. It can be said that pain is the stress, injury, or illness that visits us from the outside and is often largely or entirely beyond our control. Suffering can be understood as the space between how things are in the present moment and how we wish them to be. We often find ourselves occupying this space, unsure of how to bring reality into better alignment with our wish for a less stressful life. Meditation is the formal practice that allows us to cultivate the essential skills of mindfulness, namely concentration or focused awareness, and insight or wise discernment. MBSR is an 8-week exploration of that space, during which participants are introduced to the foundational principles of mindfulness, and more importantly, given the opportunity to explore deeply the wide variety of formal and informal or integrated mindfulness practices, including mindful meditation. Participants can integrate the methods that serve them best with their personal wellness regimen for lifelong self-care and healing. MBSR is a participatory behavioral program based on an integrative model of health. MBSR is a vehicle for people to learn to participate more fully in their own health and well-being and is proven to be a powerful adjunct to conventional forms of medical and psychotherapeutic care. So in other words, if you are already seeing a therapist and/or a medical doctor, participating in MBSR can be a profoundly beneficial complement to your present course of care. The MBSR program consists of 8 weekly class meetings, a retreat-style session on a weekend day, usually between the 6th and 7th session, plus daily home assignments. Each session is a blend of didactic or educational presentations and experiential learning. We'll explore the science around stress and the stress response, and the applications and benefits of different styles of mindful communication and problem solving. Guidance and practice time will be dedicated to different methods of meditation, mindful movement or gentle yoga, and mindful eating. Participants will be invited to share their experiences with each other in small and large group discussions and to ask questions freely in an environment that is purposefully created to encourage respectful and supportive dialogue. Many people have experienced traumatic events in their lives, either directly or indirectly. And so this MBSR program is designed to fully support participants who experience challenges associated with past trauma and to provide safe alternatives for all practices. When classes take place in person, you are invited to bring your own yoga mat and other support materials, or feel free to use those provided by the Midwest Alliance for Mindfulness. Online participants are encouraged to create a space that is comfortable and free of distractions. And additional instructions about technology and creating the most supportive environment possible will be provided upon enrollment. After each class, I will email PDFs of that class's content, homework, and recordings of the guided practices. I will also share that information to a private Facebook page that participants may use to exchange information and resources and to ask questions. Thanks very much for viewing this presentation. I hope that it was a benefit to you, and I hope you'll consider contacting me or the Midwest Alliance for Mindfulness for more information about mindfulness-based stress reduction.